I thought I'd improve the spelling of the word. Anyhow, the sermon title is Building Heaven. And this is our beautiful sister, Mrs. Jasmine Santoro. Why don't we have a round of applause? Thank you.
Maybe I should spell my last name that way now.
Yeah, there you go. Just capitalize the O.
There's a lot of people who actually miss the O. So because my name's Santoro, I don't know where that comes from. But yeah, it's good to see everyone today. Oh, but yeah, we just concluded I guess nationally, Peace Cup, which you may have heard about. And so actually to share a little bit more about Peace Cup and what happened last week, I'm going to invite up Mikuni, who was actually the project director. I forgot what the title is. Project director.
Volunteer.
But, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you to my wife. She is a saint. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
So, I guess I'll just jump into it. But I wanted to just give a report about Peace Cup that happened last week. I'm very proud of Peace Cup. I think I said this many times. Hyojin says that when a successful event or something happens, you're allowed to be proud for 7 days. This is the 7th day, so it's my last day, and then I'll end it there. But this is Peace Cup. This is us. This is our mantra: is world peace through sports, culture, and the arts. I think I shared it with you before a few weeks ago about what True Father and True Mother's vision was for Peace Cup, and if you remember, they have a vision to have Peace Cup between Israel and Palestine, have the border there, to make real substantial peace. For us, our mission as Peace Cup USA, what we're trying to revamp right now, is we want to have Peace Cup. Anyone know what country this is?
Yep.
Peace Cup at the DMZ border.
Oh boy.
It should be easy. It's just ignore the politics of it, it's just flat land. It's beautiful flat land. It's a lot of nature. Just build a stadium there and boom, we can have Peace Cup. But that's our vision. Our hope is that we can use sports to make real peace, real negotiations, and real substantial change. So this is our long-term vision. But obviously, it takes a lot of steps to get there. So what we do is we do local efforts. And so Los Angeles is when we started locally. And so I want to give a little recap of the whole week. These are just some numbers that we want to share. So it was a 5-day experience, and across those 5 days, we've had over 12,000 spectators totaling from each day. We had 280 athletes from over 16 states, and then we had 9 total tournaments from this time. And this was our schedule. We jam-packed 9 tournaments in 5 days. Good Lord, we were so tired. I remember every night, as a staff, I had to be there for every day. I remember every night, as soon as I got home, I went straight to bed. Didn't change my clothes, didn't even brush my teeth. I felt disgusting every morning. I had to cleanse everything in prayer. But this is our schedule. We had all these sports. We had a lot of esports over here in the beginning. We had pickleball, we had volleyball, basketball, we had ping pong, we had futsal, and then we had these various different kind of blue events that were taking place in the week. So jam-packed week, really exciting, and I want to kind of just point out. So day 1, we had our opening ceremony. We had a group come with us all the way from South Korea. This man right here, Pastor Hyun-Soo Kim, I mentioned him before. He is the international director of Peace Cup. So actually, he's the one who planted this idea to have Peace Cup in the world. So he came. It was awesome. He came. He doesn't speak English, but we had a translator, a Russian translator, who knew Korean. So thank you, Danya Babkin. We had a great time together. This was our opening ceremony, all of Los Angeles Family Church. And then right after our opening ceremony, we opened the doors of the chapel. We saw our picture of true parents and Jesus. And we played sports right next to them. This is our sanctuary with our photos. We had esports. For this first day, we had Mario Kart World. Our second day, we had some more esports tournament. We had, if you know the game, Pokemon Pocket TCG.
Wow.
Probably not. It's okay. But we had a Pokemon tournament. And then we had Super Smash Brothers Ultimate coming. And then during the whole day, we had our pickleball And I think you can recognize someone, a familiar face. We have Kazu, who got second place,
Wow.
representing San Diego, and his partner Takuya Ogasawara. Second place. Takuya, they got second place. They were a team. It was duos. So they, God, Kazu's so good. Oh my God. But anyways, this is our day 2. Day 3 was when we really started wrapping things up. We started off with 2 tournaments of having a volleyball and our ping pong tournament. And I think you see another familiar face because Kazu got second place in the ping pong tournament. And then also, we had volleyball that was second place. And somebody was asking, oh, he got second. Who did he lose to? That's him right there. He's a Japanese oji-san. But God, he's amazing. He had this spin move that you could not return.
Wow.
So anyways, he's amazing. Mr. Yoshio Kawasaki. Then we had our volleyball tournament over here, and maybe one more familiar face. That's Lena. And her team got second place. Once they represent San Diego. But it's cool, and we'll gladly accept this second place because the ones who got first place, this is really exciting. This was the first place team in volleyball. Right here in the middle, his name is Justin Han. Does anyone know who Justin Han is?
Oh, yeah.
Uncle Andy does.
I do.
If you probably don't know him unless you're under the age of 25.
Hey.
But he's a Korean American social media influencer, and he plays volleyball. He has over 1.3 million followers on Instagram and 3 million followers on TikTok. So some of our members, they just reached out to him. They just Hail Mary, reach out to him, and he came. He came with his team, and they are so good. But we gave them a run for their money. He and his team beat them once in the pools and before tournament started, and then they beat them again. But it was close. But this is our first place winner. We're really excited about this, and he's gonna make a video of the whole experience too. So we'll make sure to send that out to everybody so you can see it. Continuing with day 3 and 4, right after volleyball, we had our basketball tournaments. It was really cool. That was our first place winners. LA ticket, unfortunately. We didn't have San Diego representation. Pastor Frank, that's why I want you to work on that jump shot. But anyways, that was our basketball tournaments over there. And then day 4 and 5, these were our big days. We concluded with our biggest tournament, which is futsal. Futsal is basically smaller soccer. But this is always our biggest turnout. These were our top 3 teams, and you can tell every year the competition gets higher because everyone's wearing jerseys, everyone is coordinating. This is becoming like a legitimate tournament. We had a lot of local people too, so this is really on a local level is improving. So we're really proud of that. And so we had a futsal, and also we had our mile race, and these were our 3 winners for the mile race as well. You see everyone getting started over here. And then what also happened on the last day, day 5, was our culture festival, our Light the Way culture festival. So every year we do this. This is our opportunity to let athletes, professionals, influencers to have a platform to share and to have discussions on peace. So we had a peace panel with Bishop Noel Jones, and then these 2 gentlemen over here are former professional LA Galaxy soccer players. Kobe Jones being one of the greatest American soccer players, exactly. And in the middle, his name is AJ De La Garza. He was there on those championship teams with David Beckham, with Landon Donovan, and these great names. And then from below, we had our church members from the Namyangju Church in South Korea. They came and gave an awesome Nanta drum performance. Wow. So it's really exciting, really cool. And this is our group photo from that day. It was crazy because one of the biggest issues we had this whole week was it was raining. Yeah. For months and months, every week we would check, no rain. The week before Peace Cup, rain on day 1, next day rain on day 2, next day rain on every passing day, more rain. So we had to find a new pickleball venue. What we did is that if you might not be able to, you can kind of see it, but on these last days, everything's outdoors. So we got like 20 to 25 of these big easy up tents so people can be safe from the rain. But God blessed us because despite the weather forecast, no rain. Wow. No rain. Thank you, God. But anyways, this is our group. We had about 300-ish to 400 people who came out. A lot of local people come again. It's really exciting. We just see new faces. These are some of the quotes from some of our VIPs who spoke. This is from AJ. These are initiatives, he's talking about Peace Cup, that go really far, not just in this country, but the world. Soccer brings everyone together. And this week is an example for all different sports. They bring everybody together, and that's why I wanted to be a part of Peace Cup. And this is from Kobe. This is my second year participating in this event, Peace Cup USA. It's a great philosophy. We hear all the time how important sports are, but they are actively trying to do it, finding peace through sports. It's very community-oriented, bringing people together. I don't think there's a better thing we can accomplish. For all these VIPs, yeah, thank you, yeah. We give them these pamphlets. Actually, these are pamphlets in the back as well. So if you want to read more about Peace Cup and more about the philosophy of it, Jasmine has it right up in her hand. Go on to wave that. They're all in the back right now. But we give those out to everybody so they can learn about True Parents' philosophy and vision through Peace Cup. So they all read that. They all know about it. So it's really cool. We're testifying in that way. And then this is just some testimony from some of the one of the teams. Right, because Peace Cup, right? I think we mentioned we want to go to North and South Korea, but of course, peace needs to be everywhere. And something I think we felt was one of the teams. This is a team that are all from Haiti. They're our Haitian team. This is from the captain of their team. Their team was called Titan. They said, speaking on behalf of my teammates, thank you for the invite and congratulations to the champions and all the participating teams. Peace Cup is building a great legacy. We're so inspired. We're so appreciative to see a more diverse and more competitive futsal tournament at Peace Cup. We're looking forward to the next one. And then he followed that up by talking to Pastor Joshua Holmes. And then he asked him, can you bring Peace Cup to Haiti? We find out from conversation that he used to be a Christian missionary, and the way that he would witness to people was through soccer. He would invite people to soccer, and then they would do a Bible study before. So a little tricky, a little gotcha, but a little bit of a Bible study, and then they would witness to people like that. But in 2019 to 2020, he says that that's when gangs start to overthrow local government in Haiti. And so at the moment, Haiti is run by a lot of these gangs, even to this day. And because of that, he lost all connection to all the young kids that he was witnessing to and teaching. So he was saying it was his dream and his hope to go back to Haiti and find them again. But he can't right now. So he's saying, but maybe if it's a Peace Cup, through an NGO with a real vision, through sports, maybe he can see them again. So he was asking us, please help me find those kids. So I thought that was a really beautiful testament, I think, the faith that some of these people have in the vision. So anyways, we're very excited about that. And then lastly, I just want to share some quick little testimonies from our local members. This is from Lena. Our second place winner in volleyball. She says Peace Cup is one of my favorite events that is hosted throughout the year. I feel like it really brings people together and it goes beyond just playing sports. This year I was more involved by helping out with social media, which allowed me to watch and experience every sport. Before playing each sport, we opened in prayer, and it was a nice way of inviting God into the space. It was so inspiring to see people from different church communities and outside participants encourage each other, work together as a team, and persevere. Teams are giving it their all and fighting until the last minute, and I think that this truly embodies the spirit of Peace Cup. Fortunately, Lena and the next testimony couldn't be here, but they wanted to make a written message to let everybody know what their experience was. So thank you to Lena.
Thank
you. And yeah, she helped out a lot with social media. So if you check out our Instagram, that's Lena. Lena did a lot of our videos and reels. She's so good. She's really skilled. Next, Kazu. This Peace Cup, I was able to reconnect with the community through sports and shared experience. Sports has always been my preferred form of social interaction. Makes sense. Whether you're on the same team, rival team, or a spectator, we share the moment of competing. Win, loss, tie. It's experienced by everyone there. Peace Cup attracts like-minded people within the community who also crave the interaction that sports has to offer. People come from all over the state, country, and world to participate just like me. In this 5-day period, I reconnected with old friends, made new friends, and created new memories. I was fortunate enough to place second in pickleball, ping pong, and futsal alongside all my teammates. We'll see about Peace Cup 2027. Those are challenging words, Kazu. But it's true, he got second place. The curse of second place in San Diego. So we're gonna fight to have someone represent and win first next time. But yeah, that was just a little bite-sized glimpse as to what the week looked like. And lastly, I just wanted to kind of share finally, this was a photo we took. I think I mentioned the last day, rain was the issue. And it rained a tiny bit on the last day, but nothing significant. But because it rained just a little bit, during the finals of the futsal tournament, a rainbow came up from around. I don't know if you see it, but it's very light. One of our members claims that it looked like a 360 around. I didn't see it, but she did. She claims it. And then it was crazy because when the futsal final was happening, right when the whistle blew to end the tournament, everything, rain, it rained. That's when rain started. It was a light rain, and we still had we could do our award ceremony and everything. And then finally, as soon as everything concluded, heavy rain came. But we were all scrambling to clean everything up and get out of there. But we felt it was like confirmation from God that He waited until the last possible moment to make rain fall. And so we could have this whole day. Everyone was dry except for the volunteers who were cleaning up. But it was amazing. I think for me personally too, I think just to quickly share, one of our next steps as Peace Cup is we want to host a World Peace Cup this summer in South Korea. That is our hope. We invited all the winning teams this year to go to South Korea with us and to play. So it's going to be really cool. But after this whole experience, I think hearing from that Haiti team, and I think even with us wanting to go to South Korea, it reminds me, Peace Cup, I think it's great that we do it as a community. I think it's great that we get our friends involved. But really, what does True Parents want us to do? Take what we have, this culture, this peace, into the places that don't. I think that's what this is really what we're really trying to build into, to have that type of foundation. One of the VIPs, AJ De La Garza, he says, the first thing he said when I talked to him after everything, he was like, "You guys are the nicest people. If the world had this culture, we would see world peace." I really was moved by that because I think it's true. We have such beautiful culture, I think, because we're just good people. We're some of the greatest people I know. And we have such beautiful culture that comes with it. We just need to let people be invited into it. I think once they come to meet us, they experience it themselves. They'll really see who we are, but also who our true parents are, their fruits. So I'm really excited about how we can invite more people into that. So yeah, anyways, that was our Peace Cup week. Thank you for supporting, and World Peace Cup this summer. We'll see you there. Thank you.
Yeah, next time San Diego can take first place.
Yes.
Number 2 choice.
But yeah, actually, inspired by Peace Cup, and actually, Mikuni kind of gave the sermon. Maybe I can end it. But I wanted to talk about building heaven. Building heaven. And so actually, to start this part of the message, I wanted to ask if you can, just for a few seconds, reflect. In the perfect world, what would you personally be excited to see? In the perfect world, or in the kingdom of heaven, what personally excites you? What would you love to see? So if you can think about it, and then for the next minute or two, once you have your answer, if you can share with the person next to you, you can make groups of you can make groups of 2 or 3, and then if you would like to share, what personally would excite you in an ideal world?
We got a pear shape first.
Opposing teams or even opposing spectators compliment each other on how the other team played. Yeah, so man, they got really good.
What do you think? What do you make a perfect world? What do you think?
We are buying drinks for everyone.
I think everybody would be in true love and complimenting each other on their relationships. And the young people would see the elders
Welcome back.
and like to see it in our face, the face of God.
All right, maybe another 30 seconds. Another 30 seconds.
It's that's good. I think it's a little, it'd be a little bit too risque for all the people that are but that's what I think.
Just like I said, what's the real purpose of prophecy? To feed somebody.
All right, thank you. If you can give your neighbor a high five. Thank them for sharing. So, I'm sure there's a lot of different answers to this question, and maybe it's really different for everyone, but would anyone briefly like to share what they thought of? Like what came to mind for them? Oh, Jinsei!
Visa-free travel.
Visa-free travel.
Oh yeah, that's
Actually, yeah, that's that's what I'm excited to see. Visa-free travel. That any other?
Jeez.
I would want to live in a world that is safe for everybody. So you can let your kids play around and you know nobody's going to hurt them. That would be an ideal world.
That's true. Yeah, you don't have to worry about them going down the street. Or
Everybody would still going to hurt them or anything.
Anyone want to add any other idea that came up for them? Yeah. Okay, yeah. I don't know. Have any of you guys thought of this question before? Like what?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I like this question because I think it's a good one to reflect on. I actually really relate with what Tensing was saying too. For me, one of my passions is traveling, and I'm so excited in the perfect world. Yeah, no visas, not worrying about like war zones or high, dangerous zones, being able to travel freely and see different cultures, different people. And the other image I get in my head actually is in my mind it's like a barbecue or a picnic, and I'm there with my family, my close friends, and all my siblings are there. And in the perfect world, they're all also with their spouses, and they all have their own families now, and we're all playing together, whether it's like playing, eating, laughing together, and I get this scene in my head. Yeah, my friends and my siblings are all in very different places, but in something that personally, I guess I would be inspired to see is them happy with all their families, and we're all together in that space. But yeah, I think it's a good question to reflect on because it's what we're striving for, right? What personally motivates us to keep going, to trying to achieve this perfect world, this kingdom of heaven, or in our movement, right, we gave it a name, Chanoguk, right? What does Chanoguk look like to us? And so, yeah, I think to share a little bit for myself, I think I shared previously, but when I graduated high school, I decided to do a gap year program in our movement, and I did a Special Task Force Europe. Christine is also a fellow alumna, so we're but during my time it was, so half the year was fundraising and half the year was witnessing. And for myself, I was stationed in Tirana in Albania, and I was living in the carp house there. And we would go out and survey people, asking them about God, about life. And then we would invite them to the carp center where we would, teach them about God, God's dream, divine principle. And then we were also doing different university activities. But this was my first time really delving into how do I share divine principle? How do I share what True Parents taught me to other people, right? Who come from all various backgrounds, right? Like how do I share that? And so this was also a time of a lot of studying for myself too. Like how they say, right, the best way to learn is to teach someone something. And I really believe that during that time, I really had to understand what's, divine principle, understand what are we trying to convey when we meet someone new and when we're trying to share about God, True Parents, Jesus. And it was during that time that it kind of dawned on me. We always talk about the kingdom of heaven, but I actually don't know what it is. At that time I was, we talk about this ideal world or Chanoguk, but in my mind, like I couldn't quite imagine it, or I didn't know what it is, you know? But growing up in our movement, we talk about it a lot, right? It's like, for true parents, the kingdom of heaven on earth will happen. It's a very real thing. And so I was reflecting, I don't know what it is. What is the kingdom of heaven on earth? And actually, it was while I was witnessing that I learned this concept of a heaven on earth isn't a normal belief. I think because I grew up in the movement, I assumed everyone believed
That's
a
right.
kingdom of heaven on earth. But as I was talking to different guests, actually, they would be really surprised. You don't think it's just in the spirit world, or no, there's, you know, it's not, you know, I don't think it'd be created on earth. I don't think it was meant to be. And that's when I realized the kingdom of heaven on earth is, especially in our movement, is a unique vision given to us by true parents. That it's something that's meant to also be on earth and what we experience here. And so, in my journey of trying to understand, what is the kingdom of heaven, or Chanoguk, I started studying True Parents' words. So I was studying True Parents' words on Chanoguk. I was also trying to study unification thought, which a lot of it went over my head, but right, this whole comprehensive, what does the ideal look like? And one of the things that really stood out to me at that time was actually True Parents' words really emphasizing building. So this is True Father's words from 1994. He says, "Our family pledges to build the kingdom of God on earth and in heaven, the original ideal of creation. I use the word build with the meaning that we have to make it. It will not come about by itself. We must create it. Since it was people who turned this world into hell on earth and in the spirit world, it is people, not God, who must recreate it and make it into the kingdom of God. The kingdom of God on earth and in heaven emerges within the individual and then must be substantiated in the family. Since we must create this kingdom in our families need the family pledge. Our families have to build the kingdom. We are the ones who must do it." Yeah, this stood out to me, and he's quoting the first family pledge, actually, right? When he starts it. And I realized, so we're the ones who are supposed to build the kingdom of heaven. If we're building something, I have to know what it looks like, right? I can't build it blindfolded or have no idea what I'm creating. And so, it was during this time that I realized, it's not, I think my image was a little bit of a blind faith, of like if I keep going, if I have faith, it's gonna appear, and it's gonna be perfect, and we'll be happy. But it was during this time that I was starting to realize, we have to build it. We have to substantially be able to kind of see it and build it and strive for it. We have to have a blueprint, right? I think in carpentry, right, before you build anything, you know what it's gonna look like, or you have a blueprint.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and I think that was something I was realizing. There has to be a blueprint for what we're building. And just like in the family pledge, True Parents called us the owners of Chanoguk, right? So it's not even spectators or participants. True Parents are calling us to take ownership. So this gave me a lot more questions too. Yeah, what am I building? What am I trying to build? And it was during that time, I was watching an inspirational video on YouTube, the ones with really nice music, nice quotes, and they try to inspire you. And but something that stood out for me actually during that time from that video was they were quoting Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. And this video was mentioning how faith is being able to see what's not yet there. And it was describing actually really good realtors or like business people can look at an empty plot of land and they can see something in it, right? Whether it's a resort, a condominium, or whatever it is, they can see in this empty plot of land that something can be created there. And they see it so much so that they're willing to buy it and invest, right, to creating it. And I realized that's like the kingdom of heaven too, right? In our world, we don't see the kingdom of heaven, right? I will say San Diego, I think, is pretty close. Externally, I imagine a kingdom of heaven would look kind of like San Diego, very nature with the nice beaches. And our community too, I think, is really nice. We're quite close, but but if we look at the world, right, we can see we're not living in the kingdom of heaven, right? Just yesterday, myself, the Weises, the Betancourts, and Keiko-san, we did a human trafficking awareness walk, right? That alone shows you we're not in the kingdom of heaven yet, right? That we're fighting these type of heinous crimes. But despite that, can I see the kingdom of heaven? And seeing it, am I willing to invest everything to create it? Right? But I have to be able to believe it, right? To be able to invest. Yeah. And so I think the amazing thing True Parents taught us is God does have a blueprint, right? That He gave us. That for billions, millions of years, God was preparing and designing this perfect world for us. Right? Where we could be happy, where we could be joyful. And so how do we understand God's blueprint? And then substantialize it, right? Build it. And this is where I get really inspired by what True Parents have done. This is actually my favorite part when I'm sharing with guests about who True Parents are. You know, because we often think of True Parents, I think in the secular world, they're often viewed as religious leaders, right? Because they talk so much about God's dream. You know, it's like, it feels like a religious topic. One of the most incredible things about True Parents is God's dream wasn't a religious topic for them, right? It was very real. It's a concept that has to be discussed in economics, or politics, or science, or sports, or culture, right? And so True Parents, in this way, were very, like, it's almost very practical, but it's like they were really thinking about how do we build the kingdom of heaven from all these different aspects. I stole this slide from Carpele, and it's a little bit outdated, but these are some of the organizations, right, that True Parents started, and it's only like a small glimpse into what True Parents were doing. They did work in Ocean Providence, right, for health, in the IT industry, heavy manufacturing, ACLC, right, working with different churches, working with different religions. This is personally my personal interest or favorites is the unity of sciences, and for professors, and then for media, and for economics, right? They were also working on Peace Road, or parliamentarians, right? So there's all of these things that True Parents were doing, and all of it was, how do we bring people together? How do we talk about God's dream? And then how do we build it, right? With our different skills or our talents. So no matter what your passion or your skill was, you could contribute to building the kingdom of heaven, right? And it wasn't just gonna take a religious sphere doing it, but we'd need it also in culture, in sports, in arts, right? And so I get so excited sharing about that with people because that's so beautiful, right? And because of True Parents Foundation, it's like, no matter what your passion is, no matter what your interest is, there was something that's there for you that you can plug in to help build God's kingdom. One of the things I really liked, actually, Mikuni shared about it at Peace Cup, but actually Peace Cup, when True Father was really leading Peace Cup, a lot of it was mostly soccer, actually. And in True Father's autobiography, he talks about why soccer. And he says, the reason I chose to create soccer teams is that I enjoy the sport. I have enjoyed sports since I was young, and for a time I did some boxing and some traditional martial arts. Soccer, however, is the one sport that I continue to enjoy into my old age. So I love this image, Father loves soccer, right? Love watching soccer. So he was like, how can soccer build world peace, right? How to use this to build, and it's doing incredible work, right? But I love that was like his personal, that was, of course, True Parents do everything for a bigger purpose, but he personally loves soccer. So that's what he was thinking about. I also, one thing for True Mother too, I personally love coffee. My daily joy in life is my cup of coffee in the morning. I'm half Italian, so half my blood's espressos. I love my coffee, and I love cafes. And one thing about Mother is, if you notice, whenever she builds anything, there's always a cafe in it. When we went to tour the Cheongwon-gun, she had a cafe set up in there downstairs where you could get coffee and just talk and enjoy. But I love this idea that I know Mother personally really likes coffee, and she's trying to think of how do we use cafes to build this beautiful environment, right, where people can come and just enjoy, be with each other. If you've heard, she had this model she designed it was like a family cafe, and Mother's idea was families could come in, order a coffee, order some food, and there would be a kids zone where your kids could be dropped off, and they would be with caretakers, right, people watching over them. And it would also be an education zone where they would teach them about character values, how to, they're young, so like instilling these values from that young age. And Mother's idea was this cafe could become a place for families and for kids to be educated, right? And it would be this really beautiful environment. And I love that through a love of cafes, this idea came, right? Of how do we use that to create this environment for the kingdom of heaven. Personally, also, when I came to San Diego, I was actually inspired by Uncle Robert Enyart, if I could share. He took us sailing, and it was my first time ever steering a sailboat. We had it was incredibly beautiful. Uncle Robert was telling us, like, with his experience in sailing, he wants to offer that to the community, right? How do we use that to build this environment for young people and for everyone, right? And I was inspired by that, to take what you're passionate about, your personal experience, and think about, through that, how can I build the kingdom of heaven? And so I think that's really the new era that we're in. Our passions, our talents, what we love, we can think about how do we build the kingdom of heaven from that, right? I'm always surprised that Peace Cup has video games. As a non-gamer myself, I wouldn't have thought of it, but Pastor Joshua personally loves video games, and his dream in the kingdom of heaven is people can come and play video games together and have, create an environment based on that. And so he tried to do it, right? And I see that with the Professors World Peace Academy too. I work with some professors their specialty is soil science. They study all about soil science, and that's their research. It's very niche, right? But because True Parents made PWPA, they can come and they get to talk about what's God's dream and how would soil science support that, right? How would soil science support the world and world hunger? And so I think it's really incredible that True Parents gave us this vision that we can come together, work together, and think about how do we build God's kingdom substantially. And so, yeah, I think the last point with this that I wanted to share is Mother's words. And she said, True Father completed and accomplished the providence of restoration through indemnity. He opened Chanoguk. It is up to us to create the environment for Chanoguk. It is not possible to turn heaven and earth upside down overnight. What is important is how much we devote ourselves to embrace our brothers and sisters, our clans, our nations, and our neighbors with love. And I think this is a really good last point, is that in building this environment for the kingdom of heaven, people will come, right? You build it and people will come, and it will be all kinds of people, right? For Peace Cup, every year, the more that they do it, actually, the more people who come that we have no idea who they are. They're just from the community, they saw a flyer, and they come, and we have no idea who they are. So actually, as the organizers of Peace Cup, we're becoming a minority at the Peace Cups. But that's so beautiful, right? Because people are being invited in to experience this environment, and it's from people with all kinds of different backgrounds, right? Different things. But the important part is when we're creating this, how can we really embrace everyone, right? Embrace those who come. And so, yeah, how much can we embrace someone who doesn't, look like me, think like me, maybe comes from the opposite end of the political spectrum, right? How much can we embrace them? Or voting for a different curtain color than me, a curtain color I don't agree with. That's something we're voting on now, so it's in my mind. No, but all of this is how do we create this environment from what we're passionate about, sharing that with others, and welcoming, right, who comes. And so, yeah, I recently heard the report from Hun Suk-nim, True Mother's daughter-in-law. She was talking about their visit with True Mother recently. And True Mother has so much hope, actually, so much hope in us and what we can do. And she asks us to keep going, right, in this time. And so I really believe in this new year, how do we, through what we love, how do we want to share that and create the kingdom of heaven? How can we use what we love to love God and love people? And so